She's a Tony-nominated actress who comes from TV and stage royalty.
And in her newest act, she's a singer releasing her debut album, Letter 9. Condola Rashad, welcome to Arise 360.
Thank you.
Hi, Condola. That's such a beautiful name.
Thank you.
What does it mean?
Well, I've been told that it means mighty, and we know it's of African descent, but we don't know where. So then I'm like, well, how do we know that it means mighty if we don't know where? So it's you know.
I'll go with mighty.
Mighty.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
That's good.
Well, let's talk about your mighty performance in Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, thank you.
What was that experience like for you?
It was the most challenging experience that I've had so far as a professional actor, which was what I wanted. I said that the next thing that I wanted to do was I knew I wanted to do Shakespeare. There's something about I feel that when you do Shakespeare, you come out a better actor. You can't help it. Because Shakespeare, the text itself and performing the text, it teaches you how to act, really. It really does. And so you can't help but come out better.
That's true. The language demands so much of you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was tough, you know. It was, we had a lot of fun doing it, though, and we had the best cast ever. And so, you know, it was great.
Now, you work with this no-name actor named Orlando Bloom.
We actually have a clip of the play. Let's take a look and then discuss.
Okay.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all, or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love...
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy of this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauty's flower when next we meet. Good night.
Wow, you sound so beautiful speaking that dialect.
So lyrical.
Right. So what was it like working with Orlando? It looked like you guys had some real chemistry together.
We did, and we had a lot of fun. And it's funny from that clip because I'm pretty sure that's, I think that might be from when we filmed it early on, like in September, I do believe.
Okay.
So it's funny to watch it because when you do Shakespeare, and we both found this, it's like, you think you know what a line means. By the time you open, you're like, oh, that's what the line means, great. And then once you get to the end of the run, you're like, oh, that's what that means. And so it kind of blooms, really.
Yes.
Like, I mean, no pun intended, Orlando Bloom. But really, the performance really does bloom after a while. So watching that is very interesting for me because I'm like, oh my goodness, that's what I used to do.
That's what I used to do.
But working with Orlando was great. We had so much fun. He's such a gracious actor. And he's fun and he's funny. And also he's a generous actor. I mean, I remember when we were first working on it in the very beginning, you know, he came to me and he's like, listen, if there's anything that's not working, if there's anything you ever want to just talk about, feel free to just do it. So we had a really great bond. Everybody, you know, thought it was something more than it was.
Well, since you brought it up,
which
Condola,
it was not.
we've got to talk about those kissing scenes.
We can talk about it.
One in particular was just, I was in the audience with my sister, and we were fanning each other. And it was long, and it was hot.
It was, but that's what
And
we
it was
were
very
supposed
passionate.
to do. We were supposed to do this.
Was that
acting,
was
is what
that
you're saying?
acting?
Yeah.
Solely?
I mean, look, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard. You know, we didn't have a hard time doing it, but it really was. That was our direction. I mean, it was like, listen, this is the moment where they meet. Just go at it. Just go. Go until everyone feels uncomfortable. Just go.
Well, you went at it all right.
That must have been really tough for you, night after night,
Yeah,
kissing
it was
Orlando
just
Bloom.
such a stretch.
Oh my gosh. Well, for those
grueling.
for those who didn't get to see that kiss on stage, they'll actually be able to see it on the big screen now, right?
Yeah.
And when is it supposed to be going to the theaters?
It goes into the theaters for 7 days, February 13th through the 19th. So it's like a Valentine's Day kind of a special, but it's in all 50 states in over I think over 1,000 theaters.
My goodness.
And they literally just brought the cameras to the actual Broadway play and taped it as the play was happening.
So like this, what we have here, I'm pretty sure from what I remember, I think that's from the Lincoln Center. What we did was they actually hired a film crew and we had a 2-show day and they had 7 different cameras, 2 up top, 2 back, and then there was cameras going up and down the aisles. So it was a little bit more, you know, more angles basically than when they did it for Lincoln Center. So we remember them doing that, but we didn't we didn't know at the time necessarily what was going to happen from that.
Wow.
We
And
thought
now
maybe
it's going to be on the big screen.
Yeah.
That's
My
exciting.
goodness.
But I'm excited. I remember feeling like I'm glad that they filmed it towards the end of the run, because that's when we really started to find our rhythms.
Yeah, you were in your
So,
groove by
yeah,
then.
exactly.
Let's talk about Stick Fly. Did
Yeah.
you have any idea how important that role would be for your career? And the Tony nomination, my goodness.
You know, I didn't. And I never really do. Like, I never really, and maybe I should, you know, maybe. I should be a better businesswoman in that sense, where it's like thinking, but I never really think about things like that. I just, there's a role that calls to me, or there's something that comes my way, and I just do it. Just go, okay, great, we're gonna do it. I didn't know I was gonna get nominated. I was very shocked that I was nominated both times, because I just don't think in terms of that recognition aspect of it. That's great, and I'm very humbled by it, but I just like to do the work. The work's fun.
You also got a second Tony nomination for your work on the trip to Bountiful, where you worked alongside the great Cicely Tyson.
Miss Tyson!
Oh my God.
Miss
What did you
Tyson.
learn from her working day and night with her?
What didn't I
And what was it
learn
like
from
being in her presence?
Miss Tyson is, she's one of the dearest souls for me. I hold her so dear, almost as dear as I hold my grandmother. I mean, really, we had so much fun working together, because she's just a force to be reckoned with on and off stage. And I knew we were gonna be friends, because the first day of rehearsal, Miss Tyson came in and she had all black nails with one green nail.
Ooh.
And I said, okay. Oh, you want to come in here like that?
Oh, really?
One
Okay.
green nail.
We're friends.
Why the green nail?
It's a party nail.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the party
That's
nail.
that party nail.
It's a fashion thing to do.
And I see you're doing it.
Yeah.
One green nail.
I'm right. Listen.
That's what the
Okay.
young girls do, Shannon.
Okay, I'm
And Miss Tyson was letting you know.
was no joke.
Yeah.
She came in there as calm and as fabulous as she was, and she just had this one green nail, and I said, okay, we're gonna be friends.
We're going to be
I love
friends.
that.
Well, let's talk about another legend, your mother.
Yes.
Felicia Rashad. What was it like growing up with her as your mom? Because she was all of our moms. She was
Yeah.
Claire Huxtable, but she was really your mom.
You know, it was very normal. I don't, you know, people always ask, like, you know, what was it like? And my thing is, I don't know anything different. I don't know any other mother, so this life that I've had has been very normal. But also, it's because our life really was normal. You know, I remember my mother just take me everywhere, which I really appreciated. She took me to rehearsals, she took me to the Cosby Show. I was there, I saw all of it. And when I got home, you know, when I got home from school, I experienced something that a lot of kids experience, which was my parents were there. My dad was watching the game. My mother managed to cook food for the family, and
Really?
we had, yeah.
Wow. So she was a mom on TV and came home and was a regular
and
mother.
Came home and was throwing down like, okay, who wants chicken?
So did you ever feel that you had to share her with the world? Because she was my mother too.
She
And
did
Lola's
was
is
mother,
her-
and I mean, I always knew that's just what it was. And so, you know, I never had a problem with
You
it.
never had a problem with that.
No.
What's the most important thing she taught you about the business?
Stay grounded. Stay grounded. Nothing's ever final. Do it because you love it, and never really let outside forces kind of deter you from what it is that you want to do.
Wow. Well, you say she took you a lot of places with her, but when did you really realize that she was famous? Like, oh, that's who mom is.
And your
I had
dad's
always
Ahmad
known.
Rashad, so he's
Yeah.
famous as well.
Since I can remember, I've always known, because I was with her. So, you know, we'd walk out and everybody wants our autograph. So I knew something was up even as a little kid.
Right.
Something's a little different here.
Wow. Okay. Now you have to tell us about your album, okay?
Yes, let's talk music.
Yes, tell us. Letter 9 is called.
The Letter 9.
Now, why did you decide to step into the world of music?
Well, that's actually how I started out.
Really?
I was trained classically in the piano for 10 years in high school.
Wow.
And so, actually, it was funny. I was talking to my sister one time. My sister thought that I was going to go to college for music. So they were actually shocked when I went for acting. So it was just something that I've always been doing. I've always been writing songs. I've always been, you know, musically inclined. And so it was just something that I knew I had to do. And I knew, you know, once the acting career took off, I knew it was going to be challenging, but it's something that it just had to happen. It wasn't a choice. It has to come out. And so I went to Sweden to develop this album that I had kind of been messing around with. I had like maybe 4 or 5 songs that I had figured out that I wanted to record. But I wanted to create a whole album. So when I went to Sweden, I worked with this production team called Macho Psycho.
Macho
And
Psycho.
Macho Psycho is the
Okay,
name.
sounds intense.
Yes.
Right.
And we sat there for 2 weeks, and I literally just went to the studio every single day. I saw no part of Sweden. I went from the hotel straight to the studio every single day. I put down the tracks that I wanted, that I had already created, and then there was like room for more. So I was like, okay, give me this beat. Can I get this instrument? Okay, great. Can we take it? Can we make it slower? And we just created this album.
Now, why Sweden? Just because that production
Well, yes,
company
that
was there?
production company was there, and I knew that I was going to work with them. And I've been working with this wonderful man named Billy Mann, and he set me up basically.
Talk to
with
us
them.
about your sound, Condola.
Yeah, the
what
sound
can we
is
expect?
it's not what you would expect.
Really?
Often people, for some reason, and I think it really does have to do with image, and it's funny to see how image really does play a role in terms of what people think you can do.
In what way?
Well, people see me and they don't think I'm gonna have a rock band. It's a rock band.
Rock band.
So people are like, a rock band.
When you say rock, you like,
It's like, no, I mean, not like heavy metal.
Okay.
It's we basically pull from influences like Lenny Kravitz and Alanis Morissette.
Okay.
And No Doubt is a big one that we pull from.
Well, can you give us a little taste of your sound?
No, I don't have my stoop kids. I gotta have my stoop kids.
gotta warm up
But
first.
what I will say is,
We gotta understand, get a true understanding of what it sounds like, you know?
No,
She's like, I need my band
me.
first.
You're not gonna
Okay.
get me.
Next time we'll bring you in the band back.
I would love to. That would be awesome. But you know, the music itself is what I really wanted to do was I just missed music where people were saying something. You know, we had a lot of music out there today, and I'm not hating on it because there's a place for all of it. You know, I'm not saying it shouldn't exist. But we could sing about Meet Me at the Club all day. And it's just, that's cool, that's there, but what else can we do?
Where's the substance?
You know what I mean? So the
Yeah.
people that really moved me were people like Lauryn Hill, which is lyrically and rhythmically I pull from her because I like what she was saying and also the way she was saying it. So we're kind of mixing rock music with people like India Ari and Lauryn Hill. It's a mixture of that.
All right, now that album
great.
drops on Tuesday, so we'll check
It'll
that
be
out.
on iTunes.
But before you go, you have to tell us about this new TV role you just landed.
Yes.
Okay, what's the
I'm
show
very
and what's your
excited.
character?
The show is called Hieroglyph. It is on Fox, and I play the role of Nefertari, who is the pharaoh's sister, half-sister. It takes place in ancient Egypt, and it's basically all about the goings-on in the royal court of ancient Egypt, which I'm very excited about because it's what I said that I wanted. I was like, okay, I want to do some television, and I also want to do some fantasy. Let's do something like, why can't we do fantasy too?
Exactly.
You know, I know
love
there's not a lot of black people in Lord of the Rings, but there should be because those are the movies that I watch. So I was like, I wanted to do something like that. Here it is.
And there it is.
Okay. And when can we expect that series?
Well, I think it's for next season. We start shooting
Okay.
the pilot in March.
All right,
And then
well-
the rest of the season, because it's already been, the first season's been made to order.
Oh,
Got it.
So we start shooting that in June.
Condola, my goodness,
Can't
girl.
wait.
Your dance card is full. Congratulations
Yeah.
and continued success. We're picking up your album
Thank
next
you.
week.
Yes.
And you come back again with your rock band, okay?
Yes, I would
All right,
love to.
that's a deal.
Done.
All right. And you come back too. You're watching Arise Entertainment 360.